Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at the different bull and bear ETFs for the indexes, and then we're going to look at the financials, the biotechs, and oil. Okay, so I'm going to show you the bull first and the bear second. So first up for the S&P 500 bull, this is SPXL, and as you can see here, it has RSI at 58, so it is cruising there. This is hitting the level. You can see here on that last run where it topped out on the 26th. It's hitting that level on RSI, so you want to see it break above that level. It does have FAS up here at 96, so it is hitting frothy levels on RSI. As you can see here on Friday, it closed just above the closing price on the 26th, and so that is the 26th of February, and that is the key level to turn into support. But we want to see that level hold and then a push higher. The next big level is going to be this closing price back here in January. So you're going to look for a break above 50. So yeah, on tomorrow, it looks like the markets are going to be gapping up at the open. The futures trading is up right now, and so you want to see the share price stay above 49. If it pulls back below 49, that would be a signal that it's cooling down. Right now, it needs to turn this 48.50, the closing price here on the 26th, into support. If it pulled back below that level, that could be signaling that it's cooling down. And then what you'd want to see now that it's back above this 50-day simple moving average at 47.20 is for that level to turn into support and hold. Notice there was a PSAR bull flip here. Yeah, and you have MACD heating up on both time frames. Okay, if you look at SPXS, this is the S&P 500 bear 3 times. You can see here it is at very oversold levels on FASTO down here at 0.23. It's all the inverse of what we just saw on SPXL, and you can see here it broke below the closing price on the 26th, so it dropped below that level, and then now it's hitting the lower Bollinger Band support level with support down here in the end of January, and then just below that is this low close from January, which is down here around $24, $24.25. So yeah, so look for a potential bounce off of that 25.25 level, the bottom of the lower Bollinger Band. If it busts through the lower Bollinger Band, that's going to signal extremely oversold. There was a declining volume pattern with a red volume spike on Friday, so that is that is not what the bulls wanted to see. In order to get a reversal going, it's going to need to break above EMA4 at 26.55. That would be a signal that the bounce play has started. Okay, let's look at UDOW. As you can see here, it closed above 50 on RSI. It's heating up over here. It had a close above the middle Bollinger Band on Thursday, so you can see just above that level on Thursday. And then on Friday, it had really nice follow through. The big level to break tomorrow is going to be that 50-day simple moving average, basically at $100. If it can trade above 100, then you're looking at this almost 104 close from the 26 is the next big level. So yeah, above 100, and then it could run up and test that 104 resistance zone. Now if it stalls out and you see it drop below 100, and that 50-day simple moving average could turn into resistance. And then what you want to see is the middle Bollinger Band hold at 94.60, and that would signal the start of a new uptrend. So if it can get above that 50-day simple moving average and it holds, that's going to be very bullish. Okay, so let's look at SDOW. This is short Dow 30, and so you can see here it's breaking down. RSI dropped below 50. You had the big spike down on FASTO, and so yeah, this had dropped below the middle Bollinger Band. It had been below the middle Bollinger Band for a few days here. The big thing was the drop below the 50-day simple moving average, the green line on Friday, and now it's hitting support down here. It's hitting support from back in early January. The big level to hold now is going to be this lower Bollinger Band. It looks like the Dow is going to be up at the open, and so this closing price on the 26 down here is lined up right now with the lower Bollinger Band. When you get a close, when candles start busting through the lower Bollinger Band, that signal is extremely oversold, and many times you'll get the candles working back in the bands. So keep an eye on this 1670 level. It has a good chance of getting a technical bounce off of that zone. Okay, let's look at TNA. So TNA, this is the small cap cap bull 3 times, and so you can see here it's been really hot. It is starting. It has 63 on RSI, so it has room to run until that 70 overbought level. But you have FASTO now at 98, so it is temporarily overbought. Okay, so it's been on a, it was pushing hard last week. The big level to hold is going to be EMA4 here at 749, basically 749.50. And if that's holding, that signals to keep riding. It's hitting some resistance from back here in January. If it can bust above the 78 resistance zone, then that 81 zone is going to be on deck. The closing price on January 23rd. That's the huge level. So it looks like it's working its way up there. Now, if it hits 81 and it stalls out, that could be the possible double top. Right now you can see today's candle Friday's candle did close above the upper Bollinger Band. It cool down. As long as it holds EMA4 at 74.50, the chart's still super strong. Okay, let's look at TZA. This is the small cap bear 3 times, and then you can see here it closed really oversold on FASTO at 1.22, so it's temporarily oversold. Okay, now right now it came down and it's hitting the 52-week low levels down here. Just below is 52-week low down here in January, and it's retesting that zone, and so it's going to either bounce off of this level, or it's going to start making new lows. So yeah, it looks like it could be busting below this 1050 support level, and yeah, it's just pretty much in free fall right now. If it can hold and get above 1050, the big level to break is going to be EMA4 at 11. Once you see it trade above EMA4, that's when it can get the reversal going. It's been trading below that at a very steep trajectory. I mean, this is a dropped off of a cliff, and that's unsustainable in both directions. So I'd be looking for a technical bounce soon. Okay, let's look for FAS. This is the financial bull 3 times. It had really strong move on Friday. Notice how RSI or FASTO is at 99.55. I mean, this is extreme frothiness, temporarily overbought. The RSI is at 60, so it's in the bull zone and it has room to run till 70. It's just signaling that after, as you could see here, it had 6 green volume bars in a row. I mean, look at this big powerful move. It signals that it could take a breather here soon. Friday's candle did bust through that upper Bollinger Band. If that level, many times when it breaks through, that signals a temporary top, and so if it struggles it was 76. It definitely, if it drops below 76, then you could see some consolidation. You want to see the 50-day simple moving average at 72 turn into support. Now, if it breaks above 77, that would be really bullish, and that's when you could see a run back up into the 80s. So keep an eye on 77 for FAS. Above that level would signal more upside potential, and it could run back up to that 82 level. Now, if it stalls out here at 76, it's going to be really important that it, for all these charts, it was the 26th of February that was the recent high, and so you want to see that level turn into support, and so that's right here, and so that's right about 74.50. So on a pullback, you really want to see that level hold. You don't want to see it drop back below that level now that it's trading above. Okay, let's look at FAZ. This is the financial bear 3 times, and you can see it's extreme oversold levels. It's 0.52. This is where many times you would see a technical bounce, especially when you have this many red candles in a row. It's set up for it, but as you can see, I mean, it's free falled, but it's had longer free falls before, and so you can't count on that. It's just hitting a technical bounce level. You could see a double bottom down here off of this 950 support zone. If it 980, if it breaks below, then that's going to signal more downside risk. Once again, you've got a volume spike to the downside, so it's pushing hard. The EMA4 is at 1029. It needs to break above that level and turn it into support to get a bounce going. And so, yeah, keep an eye on it. This is where it would be set up to have a technical bounce. If you look here on the weekly chart, you could see, how it's been in this very long downtrend. The financials have been very strong, and so the financial bear has been heading lower, and so if it drops below this 980 support zone, that's going to signal support's broken, and it would likely continue dropping further. Okay, look at LABU. This is the biotech bull 3 times, and so this has been really strong as well. Once again, you have FASTO up here at 95. It's pushing hard. You have 6 green volume bars in a row. It's riding EMA4 support higher. As long as EMA4 at 103 for all these bulls bull charts, as long as EMA4 supports riding, the signal is to keep riding if you're swing trading. So above 103 signals to keep riding. Right now 108 is the big level to break. You can see that was the closing price over here. If it can get above this 114 resistance zone, so it looks like it's heading that direction. 110 is going to be a big level. Above 110 would put 114 on deck. You know, keep an eye on these plays that are retracing back to that potential double top level. It has to break above and continue heading higher. Otherwise, it could signal, you know, a possible double top. You know, when you get this many green volume bars in a row, you have to be on the lookout for a red one. Let's look at LABD. This is the biotech bear 3 times. You can see here it broke below support, and so this is what FAS could do. You can see the 29th was the key level to hold. It held that on Thursday, and then Friday it dropped below. So this is just in total free fall. You know, finally, you know, the bounce is going to finally happen once it gets above EMA4, currently at 296. If it's forming candles below that level and closing below EMA4, it will be a risk to hold. As you can see here on the LABD weekly chart, you can see, you know, this is all the history of the trading of this chart from back here in 2015. So it closed at an all-time low close. It's hitting an all-time low prices. So yeah, you know, the biotechs have been super strong. You know, as everybody, you know, if you've been following our videos, the penny stock, the small cap biotech plays have been on fire. And yeah, and you just got you know, the bears getting crushed here. So yeah, this is making, you know, new all-time lows. Okay, look at UWT. This is the long crude oil 3 times, and so this is an interesting setup. You know, it's back above the middle Bollinger Band here. It needs to stay above 2610. So above 26 signals that it's in play. If it drops below 26, that's going to be a red flag. But it needs to get above the 50-day simple moving average at 2756. It got above that level on the 5th and pulled back. Once it's above that level, it could get heading higher. You can see it retrace back up to that upper Bollinger Band and up to the closing price on the 26th. So keep an eye on the oil bear here, or bull here. We're going to see if it can heat back up. If it drops below that middle Bollinger Band, that's going to signal it's not ready to go. It looks like it has a, you know, it has like the symmetrical triangle type pattern going on here, it looks like. And so you have ascending support, and then you have descending resistance here. And so one of these 2 levels is going to break, right? And so if it breaks above the red line, it should signal it wants to head higher, and then if it breaks below the green line, that should signal that it wants to drop lower. Okay, so yeah, here you go. So that's the you know, you could say if it breaks above that, once again, you can see the descending resistance. A break above that 50-day simple moving average in 28 would be very bullish for oil, for UWT. Okay, let's look at this is the last video in this chart, and this is the bear 3 times oil, and so this is the inverse of crude oil, bear 3 times. And so as you can see here, it was trying to heat up last week. It got above the middle Bollinger Band, and then it dropped back below. And now it's back below that 50-day simple moving average. It needs to get above 1222 and then back above 1250, that middle Bollinger Band, to get moving again. If the 50-day simple moving average at 1222 remains resistance, then it's going to signal downside risk. You could see a drop down here to that previous low close. So you have just above 11, and then down here at about 1030 or so. And so this is going to all come down once again to that 50-day simple moving average and middle Bollinger Band. Back above the middle Bollinger Band, if it can get back above and turn it into support, then that 13 level is going to be the big level to break. Okay, thank you very much for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, please come check us out at our chat. I will post the link below the video. Thank you.